Good morning and welcome back to Withrow Urban Homestead. Today we're going to plant out our broccoli rabe. It's an Italian vegetable also known as rapini. Now I'm growing it for the flower buds, for dill salads. It's an alternative to broccoli because a big head of broccoli, that'll just be more than we can use for the salads and it won't keep. This is a better fit for us. Let me show you one of the buds. Now because it's for salads and Dell eats those every day, I want to plant this near the house because I'm going to harvest it often. I don't want to have to go all the way to the back of the garden. Let me show you where we're going to plant it. And because it's in the brassica family, I'm going to have to protect it from cabbage worms. So I've set up these hoops, and they're really tall. They're called super hoops. And I'm going to cover this with some netting. It's right back there. And I'm going to leave the netting on the full growing season, and it's going to get tall. Now this is my first time using the super hoops. I've just bought them and so far I like them. But you need to remember these are only designed to be used as hoops. They're not designed to be used as trellises or arches, only to hold row covers. Now I did add some stakes to give it more support because they're so tall, and when they're covered, the wind can really blow it around, especially because it comes from that direction. It just needed some more support. I'm going to make a full video on how I set up the super hoops later. And because it's going to grow about 14 inches tall, I don't want to use my low hoops. At the height in the middle, it's only 18 inches. And along the edges, it gets lower really quickly. And the broccoli rabe's going to get about 10 inches wide. So these super hoops are a better option. Plus, the onions can stay in there the whole season because the onion tops, they're going to keep growing. They're going to get pretty big too. So I measured, and it's about 38 inches across and 41 inches tall. But the edges are straighter than my lower hoops. The lower hoops are only 18 inches tall. Now you're going to want to plant your broccoli rabe in the garden 2 to 4 weeks before your last frost. Now right now it's 2 weeks before our last frost, mid-April, and these really should have been planted last week, but we just had torrential rains and winds. So these are already 8 weeks old and they're ready. Now, you're going to want to space them 6 to 12 inches apart. So on this Hori, that's 12 inches. And then here it's marked at 6 inches. I'm going to go ahead and space mine 12 inches apart. Now, if you have a big garden, you can measure the rows between 18 to 24 inches. But I grow in a small space. So I measured 12 inches from the row of onions. That's how I spaced my rows. These were really ready to get out of those pots. See how they were stuck in there and had to really bang it on the bottom. And the roots, I had to tease them apart really gently because they were root bound. You can also plant it up to its neck, up here to the first set of leaves. That won't hurt it. It'll be just fine. Now, the recent temperatures have been on a roller coaster, freezing cold days, and this week it's going to be in the 80s. It hasn't been normal. This has stressed out some of the leaves and they've changed colors. And if they wilt, later I'll just trim them off. Also, we haven't passed our last freeze. And if these are still recently transplanted and the temperatures drops down in the 30s, I will cover them with some fleece. Now, if they had been transplanted 2 or 3 weeks and they're established, the cold won't hurt them. Now, the flower buds, don't wait for them to get really big. It'll never happen. You want them to be about quarter size. This one just started, so I'll give it some more time. Then you're going to want to trim off the top several inches, leaves and all. And you can chop it all up and use it as a salad or to cook it in oil, and it is delicious. Later, more side shoots will appear, and you can cut those off, and then you're going to get a third harvest from them. But they're not going to last the full summer. So when we get to those third side shoots, I'll plant some more, and we'll see how long it lasts. This is my first time growing broccoli rabe. Now, the netting is going to protect from the white cabbage butterflies. I just saw one here, so I need to hurry up. But slugs also like to eat these, so I'm going to put down some organic sluggo. But I got to be careful because the birds love this stuff. Now, it won't hurt them, but if I put the sluggo down near the net, they will poke holes in the net to get to it. It happened to me last year. So I don't want it near the edge of the netting. Now the rest of these I'm going to share with the community. Behind our garage, I have a shelf set up for free plants, and let's go put them out there. I love sharing with the neighbors. Swarming up quick, and you see I still have 2 spring flowers to plant, stock and snapdragons. I want to get them into the green stalk planter. Thank you for visiting Withrow Urban Homestead. See you later. Bye-bye.